And let me listen to that together with choirs, for example. These are solo violin samples that I've recorded. It's included in this course, so you should check those out if you haven't already. So now all of these little string elements have their own space. Now the next thing I want to do is also to work on the volumes here. So this one, the strings, I want them to swell a little bit more. So what you can do is to just boost up the audio a little bit, or use utility, or I try to not mess with things here too much. So that's a bit more like it. Now, one thing that I also need to repeat is that most of your mixing kind of comes from the arrangement and the composition and orchestration. So if you have done a good orchestration, it's going to be way easier to mix than if you have done a really messy, muddy orchestration. So if you're not sure if it's ready to be actually mixed yet, go back to the orchestration, fix any issues there, like too close voices in the low end and stuff like that. So next, I kind of want to look at some of the individual levels on the different instruments, make sure they're all clear and heard. Just gonna make sure all the string instruments are nice and even. It's a bit low. I'm gonna boost the double bass a little bit too. I'm using a glue compressor sometimes just to boost the volumes and have a soft clip to make sure it doesn't clip even if it goes too loud like this. That's better. Let me move over to the brass. want the horn to sit a little bit further back, so I just pull that down a little bit. Boosting these chords a little bit, just so they pop out a bit more. So I'm going from just a low trombone to like 3 trombones into chords. I just want to boost that a little bit more, just create a more dramatic effect with the volume. Just boost it up to 0 right there. Maybe the same with the horn as well. Nothing too drastic, but it just gives it a tiny bit more of a lift. See how the trumpet is going. There we go, because the trumpet is a really loud instrument, so if it's too far back, it kind of sounds a bit unrealistic, because at this range and this power, the trumpet would be, you know, overpowering basically any instrument in an orchestra. So that's a bit more realistic volume, I think. Let's see how the woodwinds are going, because I can't really hear them that much, so I might need those to give those a little boost as well. So the flute, I don't really want to hear every single note it's playing. Also, the flute is quite soft instrument, even though it can be quite penetrating, that if I have it too loud, it's going to sound very unrealistic. It sounds like there's a flute is sitting in front of the whole ensemble, because volume is basically front to back placement in the mix. How far away or how close is it to the listener? So I want this to be more of a realistic level. So you can hear it and you can feel the drive it's bringing, but it's not too overpowering. Let's check the oboe. So I'm basically just going through this and fine-tuning the different instruments. Because since I'm using the same libraries for most of this, it's going to be quite balanced already. But this can differ a little bit from library to library. And I'm just fine-tuning things, not doing any drastic changes, because through the orchestration and the recording I've kind of balanced things already. Now I'm just doing the fine-tuning to make sure everything is popping. And these choirs, I think, since the strings are on the left side, I kind of want to balance it out by putting these a little bit more to the right. Also because I usually would have a bass, tenors, altos, and sopranos set up. So I'm going to put these ones a little bit to the left. The bass is like more to the left. These ones a little bit here, and the sopranos higher up. So I'm probably going to move these up here, call this like that. So in the end it's going to be more of a wider stereo spec with the choirs. Something like that. That's more like it. So now I've kind of gone through most of the things and given them their own space. These hits are something I'm going to get to later. Let's see, the sub bass is going to be dead center. These atmospheres are good and all mixed around a little bit. Yeah, so now we've kind of gotten most of the basics of the rough levels and placements that I want. Let's check the violins. Gonna pop these staccatos a little bit more to the left. maybe a tiny bit to the left on the highest of strings, just a little bit. And a tiny bit right on the cellos and the viola here. So I'm just trying to mimic the placement of the orchestral instruments, and most libraries have this kind of built in. Some are recorded in center, so you need to know the difference between the libraries you have that do that or not. But I still maybe enhance them a little bit, but not too much, because strings, especially violins, can really sound out of place and out of the mix if you push them too hard, especially if they're already panned. So I think that's pretty much good to go in terms of the basic leveling. What we're going to look at next is to carve out some more space and work on the individual frequencies of the instruments to make them sit better together and shine more in their own frequency ranges. So let's get into that.